Hello, my name is Troy White. I'm a portfolio manager with Hoodoo Financial. Today, I am here to talk to you about some of the financial planning lessons that we can learn from this COVID situation. Um, Economic uncertainty is the number one. You can't expect circumstances to remain the same. And if we can't expect them to remain the same, that means they're going to get better or worse. And so the economic fragility is really the key there. And with political and environmental changes, they can completely change your fortunes. And we need to understand how to cope with that, combat this, and prosper from it at all times, no matter what occurs in the environment, the economy, in the world. The goal is, how can it be better for you? So we got to learn to ride with it and capitalize. So one thing you can't, another thing that we've learned is employment dependence is out the door, out the window. You cannot depend on one employer, any employer, to sustain your life. That puts you at jeopardy to be fired and to lose your income. One stream of income, and one flow of funds is puts you and your family at risk. That's just the bottom line. They're relying on us to feed them, both that and we're relying on an employer to continuously need us. And it's not as if that employer has to be the villain, but the mere fact that they may go out of business. So what's that mean for you? The economic cycle is something that you need to understand thoroughly, because the economic cycle is real and it's continuous, and that means prosperity leads to inflation, leads to unemployment, which leads to recession. Then there's a recovery, leads to more employment, leads to more development, leads to prosperity, leads to inflation, leads to unemployment, and so on and so on and so on. So, you have to be able to ride that wave, to be on the right side of that circle. You have to not just be the consumer, not just be the employee. Is really, and a lot of other things. We basically, you have to learn how to interpret what's happening in the economy and put yourself in position to prosper from the economy. So what are some of the solutions? Simple but difficult. Financial literacy is number one. That starts there. It all starts with your understanding of financial circumstances that we all must deal with. And financial literacy gives you the ability to engage in financial planning. And with the financial planning comes the implementation of the plan, the strategy. That means investing. You have to do something. You can't just talk about it, you got to be about it. You have to build an emergency fund. But that doesn't mean we have the ability to just sit there and not invest and just put some money aside for saving, because saving is losing. When you save in a savings account and those type of things, inflation is chewing away at your money. Saving is you can invest and save at the same time. Really, what I'm trying to get to. And so you have to also identify your goals very clearly. If you don't know where you're trying to go, what you're trying to do, what you're trying to get, you ain't gonna get it. You ain't gonna get there. It's easy to go nowhere, And so there's a saying: if you have no direction, then anywhere is good. If you don't, if you're not going you don't have no plan to get somewhere, then you can end up anywhere. So that's not the same, but that's what it means. So you have to make financial plans, identify strategies to achieve your goals. So I mentioned you got to have goals, right? But then we got to identify the strategy and develop a method, a way to get there. Diversify your investments. You can't put all your eggs in one basket. Um, that puts you in jeopardy. That's literally risk. Investing is all about managing risk, and that risk profile that you have for yourself and your family is what we are investing for in the first place. I'm suggesting you should acquire rental property so that you can have a rental income, because we need that income replacement at retirement. We need the ability to grow our wealth through that appreciation, and we need an income replacement at retirement. We need to be able to pass on our legacy, and passing on real estate is one of the best ways to do that. Engage in some form of entrepreneurship. The natural way of humans is entrepreneurship, not employee. That's not natural. The natural way is for you to provide a service or a product and be compensated for it. That's how it's worked throughout human history. That's not to say that employment is not a part of that. It is, because providing your labor is in itself an entrepreneurial endeavor, but we don't think of it that way. We rest on that one thing. That's a stepping stone to improve your entrepreneurship. Pay yourself first. 10% of everything you get, every dime. If you find a dime, pay yourself 10% of that. If you find $1, 10%. $100, 10%. Everything you make, everything you find, everything you acquire, invest 10% of that. That's how you pay yourself first. And so these are just some of the solutions that are a requirement for you in the future, now and into the future. And these are lessons that we learned from the COVID pandemic that we should implement regardless of the circumstance that's going on. But now we see the importance. So, if you want to dive into this deeper, I'm holding a free investment workshop, a series of them, in fact. But I'm inviting you to our next investment workshop. We're going to discuss portfolio investing, generational wealth, how to pass on your assets to leave a legacy, how to invest when you have very little, money to start with, and many other aspects. And that's why we're having a series of these free online investment workshops, because we can't say it all in one time. And I'll also point out to you, you're not going to learn it just because I tell it to you one time. It's going to require ongoing financial literacy. You need to hear it once, twice, 10 times before it really sinks in for you to understand what's happening, what we're talking about. So, thanks for listening. I hope to see you at our next online investment workshop. Holla.